we're still in the book of Job, and I know that it's been a long time that we've been in the book of Job, but there's sure been a lot of good application to life, hasn't there? I think all of us have learned something. If you've been plugged into all of the lessons on Job, have learned something about ourselves and something about the way God works. And some of the questions that Job had were certainly legitimate. Well, for 4 chapters, we've been looking at what God had to say to Lot, to Job. And as we look at him talking to Job, we have 129 verses. And he has come up with some interesting examples for Job. And today, I have to disagree with most of the commentaries because today we are introduced to a creature which is called a Leviathan. A Leviathan. And it's called in many of the commentaries a crocodile or a whale. And I'm sorry, but I believe that God would have used something even more powerful than a crocodile or a whale in this illustration. And so if you look at mythology and if you look at other sources for the description of this Leviathan, the Leviathan has been spoken of as a sea monster, maybe multi-headed, maybe not, but a sea monster. Now, nothing precludes the fact that there might have been greater monsters in the sea than what we know as the whale. And certainly we know that the crocodile may have shrunk down in size since its original design. Nevertheless, I have a hard time believing that God would use either a whale or a crocodile here in this illustration. I believe that it was literally a sea monster, one that was so fierce, so traumatic, so powerful that he wanted to use it as an example to Job. And he says, can you catch it with a hook? Can you spear it with a spear? And he goes on and on and on. And he describes it to some degree, and he describes it certainly in words that could fit a crocodile, and I guess that's why some have. I don't see too much there that would indicate a whale, but nevertheless, that term as a sea monster could have been more of a generic name for all sea monsters. In any case, you'll find them in Isaiah, in Amos, and in Jonah, and Psalm 74, verse 14. The whole point of this is that God was showing Jonah his strength, the ridiculousness of even trying to fight him because he was so powerful and so treacherous that nobody could take on this sea monster. In verse 10, he even says to Job, who then can stand before me? If I created such a powerful beast of the sea, if I created such a monster of the sea, then imagine my strength. If I can create the strength of this particular creation, monster of mine. And he says, so you can't repay me for the things that I've done because it's all mine anyway. I think that's something a lot of people forget when they are asked to tithe and they say, oh, gee, I can't possibly give 10%. It's all his anyway. And he can make your washing machine last twice as long, and he can make your dollars stretch out, and he can do a lot of things, but you can't outgive God. And it's all his anyway. You're just a steward of what he has. And of course, that brings up one of my very sensitive subjects, and that is stewardship. And I truly believe that Christian has a great responsibility to be a good steward, not only of the 10% that God wants us to return to him, but of everything he's entrusted to us. And I think that there's just way too much carelessness amongst Christians and even churches with the expenditure of funds when stewardship is so emphasized in the scriptures. And it's not, like I say, just the tithe. It's all that he's created and all that he's entrusted us with, that we're to be good stewards. Well, there's nothing on earth like him. And that's what he's been trying to drive home to Job, from the beginning of creation to nature to animals, and now this great creature. Uh, there's no question. His point is, I am king of all, and I'm over everything and everyone, and I own it all. And that's what he wanted to drive home to Job. And I think it's something that he wants to drive home to us as well. I think sometimes we see him too small, too weak, and we don't see him in his majesty and his glory. We don't see the power that he enthrones. And I think that it's very important for us to remember that he was driving this point home to Job, but I think he's also driving it home to us. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.